Everybody. The topic of today's video is useless people. These are the people that are useless for today's reality, and they call it precariat. In sociology and economics, the precariat is a social class formed by people suffering from precarity, which is a condition of existence without predictability or security affecting material or psychological welfare. Unlike the proletariat class of industrial workers in the 20th century who lacked their own means of production and hence sold their labor to live, members of the precariat are only partially involved in labor and must undertake extensive, unremunerated activities that are essential if they are to retain access to jobs and to decent earnings. Specifically, it is the condition of lack of job security, including intermittent employment or underemployment, and the resultant precarious existence. The emergence of the class has been ascribed to the entrenchment of neoliberal capitalism. The term of portmanteau obtained by merging precarious with proletariat, so they just mixed it together. And the precariat class has been emergent in societies such as Japan, where it includes over 20 million so-called freeders. The young precariat class in Europe became a serious issue in the early part of the 21st century. So the British economist Guy Standing has analyzed the precariat as a new emergent social class in the work done for the think tank Policy Network. In 2014, he wrote another book titled A Precariat Charter, which he argued that all citizens have a right to socially inherited wealth. The latest of the series is entitled Precariat, the New Dangerous Class, where he proposed basic income as a solution for addressing the problem. The analysis of the result of the Great British Class Survey of 2013, a collaboration between the BBC and researchers from several UK universities, contended there is a new model of class structure consisting of 7 classes, ranging from the elite at the top to the precariat at the bottom. The precariat class was envisaged as the most deprived British class of all, with low levels of economic, cultural and social capital, and the opposite of the technical middle class in Great Britain, in that instead of having money but no interest, people of the new precariat class have all sorts of potential activities they like to engage in, but cannot do any of them because they have no money, insecure lives, and are usually trapped in all industrial parts of the country. So this is what Wikipedia says about this. So the precariat is a crazy mix of old proletariat, working class, the migrants, which search for better life, and youth. So, all proletariat is already not wealthy, and it doesn't have that much job because most of the factories, most of these production bases were moved to third world countries like China, like Indonesia, Malaysia, Mexico, and so on. The migrants is the second part of this precariat class, and they usually travel and migrate to the countries where they can live and have more secure lives. So old proletariat working class is not wealthy anymore. It doesn't have permanent jobs. It doesn't have social security. It's pretty useless to new technological era, and it's more expensive for employers, and production powers are moved away from their countries to reduce the cost of labor. And migrants moving in search for a better life, their countries are often destroyed. They don't have also no social security in the place that they migrate to, and they're useless to new technological era also, and they have small payrolls, and they stay illegal, and they have either war or total poverty at their homes, and they don't have permanent contracts, so they don't have any rights, just as other parts of precariat. And the last part is youth, and they start in their careers but not accepted by serious business, and they are brainwashed by radicals. They live in virtual reality. They can't find a decent job even if they are qualified, and because of some laws and that they meet during their lives. They have small payrolls in the beginning of their careers, and they are staying high on drugs, alcohol, and tobacco. So this crazy mixed class is growing too fast, and this is a huge problem for Europe and United States and other developed countries. So that's why Bilderberg Group, Bilderberg Club had meeting in 2016, and they discussed this problem amongst the others, and this one probably was most important to them. So why is that? Because in not that far ago, the median wage earner, the middle class, was the base of this system that we have, and before liberal reforms, we had this type of society, which included elite, the salariat or the middle class, and the poor class. And right now we have elite, we have some salariat left, but it's pretty mixed with precariat, and the precariat is the biggest part of today's society, and it's mixing with poor class. So we don't have like this difference between salariat and precariat, and between precariat and poor class. Okay, so precariat is at least 33% of population in European Union, and it's already been stated by some non-government polls. Okay, so the way Bilderberg Group wants to solve this precariat problem is clash with parts of this precariat class is a good old divide and conquer strategy. They brainwash them via radical media and opinion leaders, and they lead them to a clash between themselves, their groups, and they destroy everything that unites them. And in fact, they have a lot in common, as I've already mentioned. So, migrants are radicalized by propaganda that they are segregated, and youth is radicalized via propaganda that their jobs were stolen by migrants instead. And so is the old proletariat, because they are often the parents of that youth. So both sides of staged conflict are controlled by the government law enforcement agencies, and both have the agents of influence in every part of this precariat, every side. If the precariat attention turns to the real cause of the problems, they engage terrorist attacks. This is pretty obvious, because while they do it, they distract everybody. So the people get distracted, and then they enforce the laws, cut the rights, and so on. This is what happened in France while they were making the new labor laws. A lot of crowds were gathering and protesting these labor laws, and so, oops, the terrorist attacks became, and so we had this Je suis Charlie, all this stuff, but The real cause of precariat is the end of so-called nationalism, the end of so-called democracy, the end of so-called government. It's the beginning of corporate governance. It's the beginning of globalism. It's the beginning of new world order. So what's next? Next, we're gonna have the basic income Earth network, which gonna be a cover-up for destruction of social security system that we have, of the welfare system, of everything that we had, of the retirement system, of all the social goods that we have from the government. Next, we're gonna have open borders, and some leaders already declare this part, just like Hillary Clinton does and many others. And next, we're gonna have neo-nomad class, which gonna migrate from one country to another, search for some jobs, do it for some low cost, and reduce the cost of labor. And next, we're gonna have corporatocracy, which already is on, but it's right now it's a test version or light version or whatever. And after the corporatocracy, we're gonna have the eternal profit generation of these corporation and the neo-slavery, which is already seen. Maybe in a couple of decades we're gonna have it. So thanks a lot for watching this video, and I hope you guys understood what I was talking about. I hope you ask questions in the comments and add yourself to the group Debunking Conspiracies, and I'm gonna leave the link below this video. So bye.